Hi, everyone. Let me show you a little bit more about our Hopin platform, particularly from the perspective of a presenter. So I'm logged in now as a presenter, and I've logged into the event. And you can see here that I'm in our event. I'm going to go to the session rooms. So over here on the left, click on that link. And it's going to automatically pull up all the sessions that that are kind of coming up soon or that are live right now. And just like in a regular event venue, if you were in the convention hall or the hotel, you would have to go and find the room where you're going to present. Same thing here. So just because you are a presenter doesn't mean that the interface is going to somehow make it easy for you to come and find your room. You don't get automatically teleported to it. You still need to navigate to it like you normally would. And so let's say that we are Shannon Miller, and we're going to go in and do her workshop session here because we're the presenter. So I'm going to go ahead and click in here into this area, and you can see now I'm in the session space, and of course it's prompting me because I am tagged as a moderator to go ahead and share my audio and video. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. You can see because I'm coming in for the first time, it's asking me which camera and which microphone I want to use. I'm going to leave this checkbox on. It's a little easier to remember for the future sessions. And there we go. So now I'm live. And if all I was going to do is simply stand and deliver and present, and I don't need slides or anything else, there's not much more setup I need to do at this stage. I can just simply start to do my presentation. You can see up here in the corner, it says there's two people here, right? So we've got the little eyeball and a 2. So that second person is this second computer that I've used to log in as a sample attendee. It says 1/9. There are 9 different streams of video that can be shared. So myself, if I share slides, that's a second one. If I bring up 1 or 2 of the people who come to my room because they want to ask questions, that would use up some of those slots. If you were doing a panel discussion and there were 4 of you, that would use up 4 out of 9 of those video slots. Doesn't mean that your session is limited to 9 people. It just means you can have only 9 people actively sharing content via a video stream of some sort or another at the same time. Okay, so anyway, so that's the basic setup here. So let's get into how we can then share some slides. So let's say I want to do some slide decks. There's a couple different ways to get this done, but down here, of course, is our share button. So that's the normal kind of turn my camera on and off, turn my microphone on and off, and share my screen. And so right now, of course, it's off, so it's got a little slash. I'll click on it. It's going to bring this up, and it's going to say, you know, I can share my entire screen. I can share an application window, or I can share a Chrome tab. Okay, so for now, let me start with Chrome tab. I think that's one of the easier ways to go about this. So I've got 2 tabs pulled up. One of them is simply a YouTube video, and one of them is a slide deck. So let me bring up the slide deck, select that one and say share. So here's this slide deck, and you can see it's all teed up. This is from an event I did before everything kind of fell apart. And I'm going to hit present so I can show the slide deck. So there it goes. Fortunately, because I've already started sharing this, the system seems to know not to take over my whole screen. But what you'll find here is the difficult part is if we go back to here, you'll see this is what your attendees see. They see one video box here that has me in it, the other one with the slides. It might be side by side, depending on the width of their screen. As you've noticed, when you mouse over any of these videos, it says click twice to maximize video. So you may want to point that out to your folks. They can do that, for example, double click on leadership in digital age. And the slides get big, and then you get a little bit smaller so they can see the slides a little better. They can double click, and if they want to see you more, or they can just do it again and get back to here. So anyway, so this is what they're seeing, but in this interface, there's nowhere to advance the slide. I have to keep bouncing back over to here, to this other tab, to do the normal thing and say click there and go to the slide. You can do this, and that's fine, and keep looking at the camera, do your presentation. The downside is, of course, it's harder to keep track of what might be happening in the chat on the side, or down here in the moderation panel. If somebody raises their hand and they want to ask you a question, it's going to pop up down there in the corner, and it's going to get bigger to show you somebody's kind of asking to come on camera to ask you a question. And it's hard to keep track of those things if you're on this screen where you've got your controls for the slides. So let me show you a workaround that I think is probably the simplest thing to do here, which is I'm going to take this tab and click and drag, and I'm going to drag down, and that makes a separate window. And then I'm just going to resize this thing in the normal fashion so that it's a little bit smaller, and just kind of set it over here off to the side. And I can even just simply, I could put it here or here, it doesn't really matter, cover myself up, but maybe I'll do that so it's covered up my it's covered up my presentation of the slides, and I can still see me, so it can help remind me that I want to look into the camera as much as I can when I'm talking. Because this window with my slides is the frontmost window while I'm talking here, and I can see this here, right? Then I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to advance the slides, right? And so I can do that, and I know that if I move this to the side here, you can see that's what my attendees see. So I can also put it over here. I can just kind of get confirmation that you can see there's that bit of lag. But this way I can control my slides. I can still see what's going on here. I can still see the chat. Maybe I push this even further over like that, so it's kind of out of the way. And I still have total control over this environment as well. So that's a little bit easier. So that's one way to do it. Another thing to notice, let me advance again. You can see this Nosser's model for complex change, and I'm going to advance the slide here. Oops. So you try, and this is one thing you want to avoid, is putting your mouse over the slides itself is going to automatically tell Google to bring up this interface, which of course your attendees see too and can be a little annoying for them. So keep the mouse outside of that, and if you just stop moving for a second, it'll go away. So now again, I'm going to use the arrow keys, and you can see that slide, it has a bit of a fade in, and this one's it's gonna fade in these boxes. And that works over video, but it does, it's not always perfect. It's a little bit choppy sometimes. So if you've got animations, what you might want to do is rework your deck so you're just simply showing information, click, show new information, click, show new information, and no fancy transitions, because the transitions and things over the video oftentimes just don't work as nicely as you would like them to. And as we know, most of them are just kind of eye candy anyway. So unless it's really necessary because you're trying to show something where the movement actually adds to the effect, you may want to avoid using them as much as you can. Okay. So that's how you can share slides. That's one way you can share slides. Now there's a couple other things we can do. For example, if I want to play a video, in my Chrome tab, I have this YouTube video pulled up. So let me share that. And you can see that's this tab here, and it's Simon Sinek talking about, start with the why. It's a good little video. I'm going to even then use the normal kind of full screen thing there, right? And we can see if I click back to here, this is what participants are seeing, or they may have double clicked this to make that bigger. Probably the world's simplest idea. And hopefully you can even hear it. Interestingly, what I have found though is, and I'm going to go back and stop this, the audio of this movie plays into Hopin simply because my microphone is picking up the computer speakers playing the video. It seems to work pretty well. I've tested it out. The audio seems pretty good. It's not crystal clear, but it's not terrible. What you may want to do is turn up your speakers a little bit, even though it's a little bit odd to do that, but turn up the speakers a little bit to make sure the speakers then are caught by the microphone, because again, remember, right now you're not in a two-way video call with somebody, so you're not going to necessarily create some sort of feedback loop, but you can then ingest the audio coming out of your computer from that video into the microphone and out to your participants. But it's potential that it may create a little bit of a lag between someone's lips and the sound, but it's better than nothing. I haven't found a better way necessarily. There are some links on the Hopin website that talk about doing some special streaming, this, that, the other thing, but it sounded a bit complex. This seems to work. So that's playing a video. Now what I can also do though, again, I'm gonna hit stop here, is I could say I want to share an application window. And for example, here's a video that I've got pulled up in the QuickTime player. I'll share that. And likewise, you can see it shows the video, and here's that QuickTime window right over here. I've already kind of gotten it opened and I made it small and pushed it over to the side. I can just push play here. Text chat, or maybe even requesting a private video. And there you go. You can see that video is playing just fine as well. Or I can stop sharing that and go back, and I can share another application window. I have simply an audio file that I've pulled up in the QuickTime player. And that's here, and I can push play on that. Okay, and that seems to work pretty well too. Turn off that. Okay, and then last, I can also say I want to choose an application window, and for example, here is a actual keynote slide deck. So we'll share that. And so of course you can see it's sharing the application window. So here's the application window, right? And it's currently in whatever it's in, kind of this contact sheet mode, but it would show whatever version of the window we've kind of set it up in. But if I go ahead and hit play on this thing, it is going to work, so to speak. I can see on my second computer over here, that it is showing both the video and the slide. And as I advance through it in my normal kind of keynote way, and I can use the arrow keys to advance the slides, I can see on my companion computer that is logged in as a participant that now it's moved on to the second slide, right? And so I can keep doing this. The downside, again, is this model one, there's a little bit of a lag. You can see the lag between the video and what I see on my screen. The other thing is, of course, I'm staring at my slide, but I can't see the chat window. And so I'm a bit disconnected from everybody. And so, again, I can try and look into the camera and talk, but I'm not seeing kind of what's going on in the chat. So that's something to consider. That's why I would suggest for sharing slides, it might be easiest to use a second little window in Google Slides. And in that way, then you can have it just sitting here on the side, and it plays in full screen mode within the window as opposed to taking over your entire computer screen. So hopefully that made sense as to how to share that stuff. Now let me show you one more thing, which is you may reach a stage where you say, oh, gee, Ron had a question, and I could go back to him and say, how about come on live? And so Ron fortunately knows what that means. And so Ron's going to click on the button on his screen that says ask to share audio and video. You can see down here now on the moderation panel, it's acknowledged that to me as the moderator of my session, oh, Ron wanted to, so I can say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add you and hit the plus sign. And there we go. So I've obviously muted out over here on my other computer to try and get rid of that feedback loop I just created. But you can see now we can kind of create some nice inception, like foreverness here. But Ron Weasley now is in the session. He could ask me a question live, and you could do a Q&A with Ron. And when Ron is done, then you could go on to the next person who might have raised their hand. You could bring in, as we said before, up to a total of 8 more people, including yourself. If you were sharing slides, you'd have 7 more slots to bring in people. So it is possible to bring in more than one at a time if you want. You start to kind of get that Brady Bunch look, which you can do. And you could, at least it lets people, it gives them a couple minutes to kind of make sure that they've got their things set up right while you're saying, let me talk to Ron, and then, Harry, you're next, right? And so Harry can check, and Harry's video is running, and he can make sure that his microphone works and everything else, and just doesn't talk until you're done talking to Ron. You say, okay, now Harry, what's your question, right? In the meantime, Ron can then click leave on his screen, and that will then turn off his video, right? And he'll exit out, and someone else could come on. So you can do live Q&A as well in your session. So hopefully that helps you kind of understand how you're able to both share content like slides or any application window. So if you're showing just a demonstration of a product in general of some sort, how you use the product. So I could go back to say my key, not this one. Oh, I think I closed it. Let's bring up an application here. There we go. There's the keynote window. So I could bring up the keynote window. That's this one. And maybe what I'm actually showing them, not so much the slide, but literally how I use Keynote. And so I could do a demonstration, a product demo of how I used Keynote to do whatever, right? But now I've got an application up. So if I wanted to show somebody literally kind of a how-to with a computer product, how you used it to create some sort of a product for your students, or how the students might be using it to create an artifact for you to assess, whatever it might be. But you can also just simply share an application window that way for that purpose. So lots of flexibility here. Hopefully all of those work. So this has been a bit long, but I wanted to make sure our presenters got a kind of a full glimpse of how you can share things and how all that works. I'll click stop sharing. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to me, Jeff@Vita-Learn.org. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.